The Army is considering shutting down all of its Pathfinder schools? No! No! I'm keeping the beard this week! For once, I'm keeping the beard! The Army Times and Military.com have brought up an interesting article which goes into state the United States Army is thinking about shutting down some Pathfinder schools indefinitely because of Corona. If you're unaware of what a Pathfinder is, they are soldiers and airmen that make up 0.01% of the whole military forces, and their job is to infiltrate enemy-occupied areas to set up landing zones or drop zones for aircraft, helicopters, personnel, and equipment. I hear you, 82nd Airborne. Good God, shut up. Higher-ups with some brass on their collars have said that nothing's been finalized on what to do, but hey, let me help you make that decision there, fellas. I'm just your normal ground pounder E6 that takes a shit out in the sticks, but we never really use helicopters, right? Ever. Who needs them? What an archaic piece of technology. It's basically a box fan that you turn sideways, remove the caging, and then stuck on top of a Volkswagen Bug, and then added a couple missile launchers onto the side. And that is not something I think you should deal with in a safety brief, right? That safety threat level is very high. Let's nix everything in the air. Trucks and boats is how we move equipment now. I know everybody's been saying it for years that paratroopers and airborne is useless and outdated, but the first thing we're gonna get rid of is Pathfinder School? Now, Colonel Rich McNorton, solid first name, Dick, is one of the head points of contact for this and trying to figure out how to chop off some of the dead weight in the United States Army because of all the COVID concerns and budgetary funding issues. And he's quoted as saying, "Those that we may not have a need for, or that are just nice to have, those that are on the lower end that may be cut if we can, or at least suspended, Pathfinder would be under those." I want to know what other skills are not needed or just nice to have. Give me the list of those. So you're telling me all these Rangers and SF dudes with chocolate chips all over their left titty are just like little pieces of flair? They're Girl Scout badges? These are just little things to let us know that you bought into the system and corporate knows you're ready to play the game. Yeah, all right, go ahead and sell some nachos and mozzarella sticks. I'm sensing a little bit of badge envy. Are you sensing a little bit of badge envy from Dickie over here? Somebody going to get Pathfinder School? He's like, well, I can't have it. Nobody can. I'm an officer and I need it more than they do. There's a little bit of pushback from instructors and those that are qualified as Pathfinders, and they push back saying, you're going to need guys who have these skill sets to say you can land a helicopter here or you can't. And this drop zone, or DZ, is suitable or it's not. A satellite isn't going to be able to tell you that there's 3 feet of mud on the ground. It may not be for the D-Day invasion, but it could be for resupply drops in degraded environment where they can't rely on GPS. So they need a Pathfinder on the ground. Well, you're wrong. I mean, when could we possibly use this? Foreshadowing. The 2 largest commands that utilize Pathfinder School are the 82nd Airborne, and Army Alaska. And if anybody needed a spot to have a dude on the ground to be like, well, a truck and a boat ain't getting the fuck over here, we're gonna need a helicopter to drop some shit off to us, it's probably the guys in Alaska, where there's hundreds of thousands of miles of unexplored terrain and mountainous regions where you probably could only get to people by a little dune buggy Cessna with floaters on the bottom instead of wheels and a helicopter. I wonder if learning how to sling load equipment on a helicopter would be good for that. Just nice to have. That instructor brought up a fantastic point. You can't rely on technology for everything. What do you think the Taliban was doing so great on dirt bike couriers moving shit around and secret handshake notes in the Middle East so that Osama bin Laden wouldn't be found for like, what, a decade and a half? He's a #1 hide-and-seek champion for over a decade. The Naval Academy graduates still learn how to use the sextant and judge where they are in the ocean and seas via the stars. The best backup is always a dude that knows the job, not some reliance on some military grade equipment that always breaks down or is a piece of crap or is just shit. It's just a piece of crap. Some of them is just shit. Some of it's just shit. Uh-oh, that foreshadowing's kicking in because in mid August, Forbes posted an article talking about the Army training on island jumping campaigns in case China got out of control in the South China Sea, because it's already pushing up against Guam and making their own little taboo islands out there. Over 350 paratroopers from 25th ID were jumping out of Air Force C-17s onto islands, practicing taking over an airstrip, holding it, just in case. Geez, dropping into some unknown areas, maybe having some guys in there to kind of make sure that those drop zones are good. Where did I hear about? Oh, Pathfinder School. The school we're getting rid of is the thing that we're training on right now in real life. Should this real life thing happen, none of the training will be there. It'll be gone. It'll be swept away in the currents of fucking Southwest Asia, Southeast Asia, Asia. But what do I know? Maybe we can just use ships and island hop like we did in World War II. The grandfathers that had balls so big they needed wheelbarrows to just heft them around so they could lay your grandma and create you after the war was over. And I'm sure that Nana would have been a hell of a lot happier if Papa would have picked up some fantastic Manscaped products, such as the Shears 2.0 or their fantastic Manscaped boxer briefs. For the horrible, disgusting areas of your body that need a little more precision, the Shears 2.0 will take care of those bad, nasty areas for you. And for those bad boys downstairs, that's where the boxer briefs come in handy. Their anti-chafing and sweat-wicking fibers turn that dankest downstairs into a don't mind if I do area. Just make sure you use the code when you check out to get 20% off all of your Manscaped products. They even got lotions for your balls! And don't think that I forgot that once I hit 1 million subscribers, I will break down my own basic training VHS video with you. I just have to have somebody transfer this to a data file. Do people still do that? Oh, and it has me coming out of the gas chamber.